They don't want you to know we have anti-gravity. They don't want you to know we have unlimited power. They don't want you to know that we have bases on the moon and possibly bases on Mars. They don't want you to know that we have an entirely alternate star fleet, if you will, that's patrolling a big chunk of the solar system.
This guy says he knows who killed JFK. This woman claims she was recruited to go to Mars. This guy thinks a man invented AIDS, and this is me. I've always been interested in like-minded gatherings. I like to see what brings unique yet like-minded people together, and to see what happens once they're there. How did I find myself partying with conspiracy theorists on a boat in the middle of the ocean? When I first heard about the conspiracy cruise, I didn't know what to think, but I knew I had to be there. So here I am on a massive cruise ship off the coast of Mexico to find out what to believe about what other people believe. But first, what is a conspiracy cruise? I spoke with its founder, Susan Chomsky.
Well, this conspiracy cruise is a seminar at sea, meaning we're on a cruise ship, we're enjoying all the amenities of a cruise, but also we're having a seminar, and people come together and they get to be educated about the truth.
Welcome to the Conspiracy Cruise. I just want to tell you that conspiracy theorists are always right. You're with me? Give me an amen. Yeah.
But what were they always right about?
These theories are intricate and complex, so I don't think I could or even should try to summarize them. Instead, here's an example of some of the stuff I've heard.
This thing we call reality is just another form of dream.
When you look at what happened on 9/11, we cannot have been told the truth.
It's not who killed JFK, it's who didn't kill JFK. Everybody was in on JFK.
There's been a lot of galactic wars. We've had the Lyran Wars, the Orion Wars, the Nephilim Wars.
Hold up, I know what you're thinking. This sounds crazy, but I just want to hear what they have to say.
So, let's meet some of the speakers.
This young lady, beautiful, beautiful lady, is a global alchemist, a cosmic mythologist, intuitive astrologist. She is the amazing Laura Eisenhower. Grab her microphone right there.
I was recruited to go off planet in 2006, and I learned a lot about what's going on behind the scenes because of that.
You were recruited to go to Mars.
Yes, there are colonies on Mars, and yes, there is a secret space program, and they don't want us to know about this.
This is Richter, Emerald 301. Contact passenger services by dialing 6000. Thank you.
So I share theories, but I also share things that are about as close to fact as I can get as far as what I've seen and experienced.
Anybody who, is just getting used to the idea of extraterrestrials, this presentation's gonna be a little hard for you, but there's things that we can't see that are operating, and it's just like, what's going on in the body. We're eating food, we're living our lives, but if you kind of split us open and be like, ugh, put it back in there, I don't wanna see that. So the Orphan created by the founder races hold all three founder flames, violet, gold, and blue, mostly associated with blue ray consciousness, which connects to the goddess in the 13th gate.
How do you think your talk went?
I think I made some points that made a difference for people.
I gotta say, don't vote for Hillary Clinton. First of all, she's not human. She's not, we don't even wanna know what she is.
I liked talking to Laura, but her ideas were out there. So across the boat on a different deck, I met up with speaker Danyan Brinkley.
Do you think I'm hitting this bar?
I think you're hitting the bar.
Okay, right. Never happens. That's electrons dispersing. That's not me, that's electrons.
Yeah, but it's like, I didn't punch you in the face. That was my electrons punching you in the face.
Yeah, well, that would be okay. The biggest conspiracy in the world, the greatest controlling conspiracy, is whether you die or not. Now, let me tell you what happens when you die. Nothing. You know what happens next? You're born.
How do you know that we don't die?
Well, because, and I'll add something else to that. You not only do not die, no one goes to hell. So let's add that to it. That's a lot of wind.
No, you didn't die though, right?
No, I was dead for 28 minutes. I was struck by lightning, Jim.
Where?
In South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yep. That's the wind. That's the wind had that one.
After playing ping pong with Danyan, I thought I'd heard it all. That is, until I met Joshua P. Warren and his magical wishing machine. What exactly is a wishing machine?
Okay, well, A wishing machine is a box that is designed to do exactly what it sounds like. It's meant to help you make wishes come true.
How does it work?
We don't really know how it works, but here's how I think it works.
You twist those knobs and you tune it to a particular frequency or a rate that helps you quantify what you want and then manifest it.
What's inside there, it actually...
Could you show us inside?
Well, here's the thing. These things are glued shut.
What is this thing gonna run me? What is this gonna set me back?
This like really basic model is $195.
I say that's steep.
Some of these things cost $5,000, $6,000 easily. It's like, how do you put a value on these? Yeah. When you're a part of a project that's selling something called the wishing machine.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're peddling fiction?
No, I don't, because I actually see this amount of success. I mean, honestly.
I wasn't sure I had the cash or the knowledge to make the wishing box work for me. So next, I spoke to a man who claimed to have all the answers.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sean David Morton. I went to Oxford, Stanford, and USC. My PhD is in psychology. I'm a best-selling author. I've been a screenwriter, award-winning film director. I'm a legal scholar. I'm a pioneer of a system we call remote viewing. I also host the #1 radio show on the internet called Strange Universe Radio.
Clearly, Dr. Morton had a lot to say, so he went somewhere quieter where I could learn more.
They don't want you to know that they're using HARP to control the weather. They don't want you to know what's in Area 51. They don't want you to know that there is a small cartel of about 750 people that own everything.
And who are they in this case?
You're talking about an extraterrestrial species called the Nephilim, these sons of God, somehow then intermate with human beings, and their sons and daughters became the kings and queens, which is the aristocracy, which is the government.
So, what does your shirt say?
It says, to save time, let's just assume I know everything. There we go. So.
If you're looking up at the screen right now, you are seeing the Horrocane. And basically what we do is we expose the darkest of the dark, but also show you the solutions.
2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 4 is 8. 8 and 8 is 16, where 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 and 7 is 14, where 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 and 5 is 10, where 1 plus 0 is 1 again. You see there is a pattern. 396, 417, 528, 6397, 741, and 852.
Dr. Len Horowitz, ladies and gentlemen.
Horowitz.
Horowitz, obviously, I'm stuttering. Dr. Len Horowitz, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
How do you think the talk went?
Actually, I think for the audience it went okay. We're all dumbed down, ingrained into this concept that in order to treat the physical ailment of this Holy Spirit-filled temple, you've got to poison it. Take the Creator's creation to the dump. It ain't worth anything.
The truth with a capital T is...
The absence of lies, deceptions, manipulations, coercions, and enslavement to conduct a commercial genocidal operation. We've got to wake up from the trance state.
Speaking to Len was intense, and over the course of the cruise, I got a chance to hear his thoughts on, well, everything.
We live our lives on a roller coaster ride through the Twilight Zone. We live a nightmare. If they attempt to kill me, it's going to backfire as it has against all of our enemies. I had no idea that he was J. Edgar Hoover's right-hand man, and we see platoons of UFOs. It could be.
Well, you're talking about where you see them through
You
the
see them.
through
You
these
can see
goggles,
them.
right?
Yeah, I've
Not,
seen them.
Without the goggles, we don't see them.
You don't see them without the
right,
goggles.
but these special goggles, you saw
The
them.
night vision goggles. Or it's
whatever it is.
bioenergetically,
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
technologies
like they
that
can
are
shake
available.
your hand, God knows what they have on their
course.
hand. I mean,
But-
there's
but-
people
but-
that your friend died like a way like that.
I had
right?
a good
Couple
friend,
of,
Don Harkins, who was the editor of the
I
Idaho
was
Observer.
lost. Amid all the theories on board the conspiracy cruise, I didn't know what to believe. Until later that night when I met with theorist Andy Thomas, who put things into perspective.
This is where you find I can't play golf at all. But hey, we're on a cruise ship, so what does it matter? What I tend to find is the truth often lies between the polarities of those that say there's no conspiracies and those that say it's all conspiracy. There's a zone in the middle where normally there's a semi-truth. The truth is, we don't know what the truth is, but we should be looking for it. It's not my night when it comes to golf.
How should outsiders approach conspiracy theorists?
I think the best way to approach conspiracy theorists is to enable them to have their say and not just dismiss them because you've been told to dismiss them.
Maybe me personally, I'm not going to walk away believing everything I heard this week.
And neither should you. Just to be open-minded and allow other people their viewpoint, I think is a very healthy thing.
I was starting to realize that on board the ship, it didn't matter if I agreed, but rather that I inquired. Because for many, the conference wasn't just about the theories, it was also about connection. As the cruise came to a close, I stopped seeing people for what they believed, and rather just as people, coming together to have a good time, with an open mind. Like Andy Thomas said,
to be able to gather and know that you're not the only one that has a certain belief or a thought is very strengthening, because we do get a lot of ridicule and we get attacked a lot, because when everybody gets off this ship and they go back to their normal lives, they're going to have to interact with people that won't believe it and that will make fun of them. But they will now know, well, there are others that share my view.
Is it frustrating when people don't believe you?
Not really. You know, I just encourage people to think for themselves, and maybe they'll resonate with how I see it. To me, oneness is diversity and harmony, and so that's the kind of respect we all have to have for each other.
It's finally time to end my wild ride aboard the Conspiracy Cruise. And no, I haven't really changed my worldview or found cosmic answers. But I have asked questions, met some psychedelic friends, and feel better off for having been here, believe it or not.
That's why I get a lot of, are you the Sean David Morton? I mean, I've had policemen say, are you the Sean David Morton? And I'm going to let you go because I'm a big fan of the show.